how we doing, folks? It's Sunday night, and it's Audio Who once again. It might be 2029 before you see this, but we're back here once again for your listening delights. And it is the turn of Tom Bates. No, Tom Bates is next week. Fucking hell, my mind's away. It is the turn of Tim Treelor, version Dr. Free, version 2.0, alongside Katie Manning as Joe Grant, with John Levine as Sergeant Benton, and the delectable John Coleshaw, ably filling in for the late great Nick Courtney as Alistair Gordon Lethbridge Stewart, with Season 5, Story number 2 of the Third Doctor Adventures, entitled The Scream of Ghosts. Yes, folks, it's the Bardens, who are normally associated with the Fourth Doctor, so it's somewhat interesting to see them with the Third Doctor. We have the 1970s. We have the technological advancement of a mobile telephone, radio and TV signals galore. We have Professor Colditz and her research. We have Warren and his music. We have Unit and the sound of Dilbury. And we have Maurice the dog. Well, you're about to find out what we're talking about this, but before we get to that, let's get to this. It's who showed up this evening. Joining from Mass, looking like Adolf Hitler. It's Sue. How are we doing, Sue?
Just peachy. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, no bother. 5-round rapid, dearie. All the way from NYC, Mr. Wilnadina. How's it going, Wilbo?
Hey, fuck you, John. You can drop that.
Yeah, fuck the Jets too. AG, 2 in a row, mate. My God, work must be good. How's it going, buddy?
I'm off my day job now, so welcome back to this world.
There you go, mate. Welcome back to his dominion, to quote Rainbow Bright. And all the way from Texas, he has a beard. There must be a few. It's Texas, Tim Wells. Tim, how goes it this fine Sunday, mate?
Winter is coming, allegedly.
Indeed. Well, according to Sean Bean, yeah, but that was so 20, whatever year that started, so there you go. So, guys, the Scream of Ghosts. We have Unit investigating the scientific research of one Professor, what's her name again? Oh, crap.
What's it?
Colette?
Colette, yeah, I never got her first name, whereby she has had some advancements in the research of developing a mobile telephone in the age of radio and walkie-talkies. We have various sounds and, shall we say, some white noise interfering with the residents of this particular town. And we later find out that the Bardens are involved. We have a nice little Unit story, Earth-based, with a sound wave with a twist. What do we think about this tale? Let's begin. Opening thoughts on The Scream of Ghosts. AJ, Tim Treelor and Katie Manning?
I think Tim Treelor and John Coleshaw did a really good job of bouncing off each other as the Doctor and the Brig. So I was quite happy with that. Very nostalgic for that. It's not your typical bang bang explosions running around type of story. It's more subtle. It's more just story based. So which is good. It wasn't a bad thing, but I enjoyed it quite well.
Excellent. Thank you, mate. Okay, I might regret. Sue, keep it brief.
All right, I'll keep it way brief. I really like this. It was good to hear about the Vardens again. They were in the invasion of time, and they'd made it through the transduction barrier, and they were also featured in some earlier audios, which I haven't heard, but anyway, they had they were, you know, producing a kind of a technology by which they could invade and populate Earth. Anyway, they were using sound waves, and so the Unit had to get involved, and for a while Joe was acting like Unit scientific advisor, so that was fun too. Anyway, I enjoyed hearing Coleshaw and Treelor. You know, it isn't Nick, but it is close.
Yeah, it's really close. So much so if you close your eyes, it's not really an issue. Well, Scream of the Ghosts, what do you reckon, mate?
Well, this is a great story. And from the first episode, I actually thought the plot was different, but I thought it was a ship from outer space was attacked, and then they all were in prison in sound. Which later on we find out it's not. It was an invasion being sought. Was was a great, to me, was a great twist. I like, like Susan said, you got to give Joe credit because she played a good role in this story like that. So you got to give like Adam props for him, letting her, instead of just do coffee, let that character do more work. So that was pretty good. I'm still shocked how this guy sounds just like the Brigadier. I don't notice no difference in his voice. And when you watch an episode, I notice no difference. So he played that very well. So I gotta give props to that, and I gotta also give props for asking him to do that role, and of course the family giving permission for that being done. So that's many props on that. And I enjoy the story, and in a way, even though it ends with Varden's being sort of in prison like that, it opens up for them to return, and besides what they did on TV and all the audio. So you gotta give them. I got the funny feeling, since now technology has changed so much. So when the story takes place, I expect them to show up again in pretty soon like that.
Yeah, to be fair, that was probably the only downside of it. The resolution was a byproduct of the time period in which it's set in, which is fine. That's not an issue for me. It might be for some folk, but well, I did that. Timbo, Screamer Dose, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I agree. It was excellent. It was really, really good how they got all these impersonators to do such a great job. I mean, you really have to give them a lot of credit. One thing that sticks out for me though is the music. Is really, really, really of the time. I mean, they really nailed it with this one. I think they just use a little too much though. There's a couple of scenes where it's just two blokes talking, and it's like you hear all this whistling and noise. And you're like, why is it there? There's nothing happening. But other than that though, they really managed to recreate the sound of the 70s Doctor Who with the music, which I thought was appropriate for this episode because it ends up being a bit about music.
Ironically,
the dog, and he's into music that nobody really likes yet. I mean, so he's like ahead of his time. But yeah, it's a great story.
Yeah, I could cover the guys. I really enjoyed this. I mean, again, it's kind of weird to hear the Bardens with another incarnation other than Tom Baker, but hey, that's what Big Finish is for. Wibbly wobbly and all that. The concept of using the professor's mobile telephone technology in order to, try and infiltrate the Earth in order to acquire the knowledge was pretty good. The fellow Warren, who was a musician, who seemed to know what he was doing when it came to manipulating sound waves, I thought he was an interesting character. With his dog Maurice and all, that was quite good. Your regulars were stellar as ever. Tim Creole is just coming on leaps and bounds. Katie Manning's just batshit crazy and lovable as always. And John Coleshaw, Jesus, I mean, close your eyes. It's basically Nick Courtney. If I had one wee gripe, and I shouldn't really nitpick, there's portions of this where John Levine's delivering his dialogue, and it just seems to be, I don't know if it's the tone or if it was the inflection, but it just seems to be out of place based on the way he's delivering it. And I know that can be put down to age. Everybody ages, all the rest of it. But
it's a little bit off.
Yeah. It just seems to be like everybody's in sync, and he just seems to be a wee minuscule tone to the right. You're going, were you in a different room, son? But obviously he was. But yeah, no, he's just. It didn't take him out the story, but it was just noticeable. But other than that, he's fine. He plays Benton well. All right, guys. With that, anybody's better than fucking Waterhouse. But anybody else? No, let me try that again. With that, any events or characters that stood out for you within this tale? Well, anything stand out, buddy?
Well, at first I thought of course, Joe Grant did she was a great character in the story, especially when she was listening to the doctor and created that machine to defeat the villains. So that was a great thing. Her character did great right there. And even though in a small way the Brigadier was he called unit, but nobody showed up here like that. And you can tell that they really didn't use him that much in the story. He still played a good role in the story. especially when he was interviewing the female scientist who created the phone like that.
Yep.
You know, who wanted to get the money. So you know that started with you just find out how these characters are like that, so that he played a good role like that. Sergeant Benton played a good role too, because in a way he didn't expect it to be in the story, because everything until he met the doctor and then he drove off with him, he wouldn't have had no role in the story. So you got to give him props for him. They're using him like that. So that's pretty good like that. And of course, that female scientist, she's trying to create an invention in the 70s that does get invented later on like that.
10 years too soon. Yeah.
And then the funny, the doctor did say it like that. You're a little too early. You're not going to be the one getting credit for that. So you know, the funny thing is, even though she had like an attitude with the unit and the doctor like that, she could have could have had a better character, like learn from this and make something better of this character like that. So you know that's a little bit of a waste right there. So that's right there who I think.
I tell you who I did. I did enjoy her assistant Artbridge, the dog body guy who just wanted to earn his pay and get on with his daily duties. But yeah, he was quite good. AJ, anything stand out, buddy?
Not one particular thing. I just like the whole idea of a radio signal-based alien life form leads you onto a mobile network and just converting people into sound waves and making a soundscape of Earth so they can try and understand and try and conquer us.
Yeah.
Even though, why would sound wave creatures want to invade a physical world to inhabit if they haven't got bodies?
Well, somebody better ask Megatron. But yeah, I mean, that's a fair point. But again, it's sometimes you've got to suspend your disbelief. Everybody has their reasoning. Sue, anything for you?
Well, yeah, to go off what AJ just said about the soundscape, the fact that they recreated the whole Earth in sound, that appeared visually to people was impressive. It was quite an achievement for the aliens, for the Vardens. And the other thing that I really enjoyed the way the Brigadier was. He was perceptive, and he was actually like he actually had an edge to overcome this, and that was really amazing. And the soundscape, the whole thing that they created was I mean, it was like one of those Phil Spector wall of sounds thing. The whole thing was full of noise and thunder signifying nothing.
Okay, cool. Timbo, anything for you, mate?
We'll have one gripe. I don't like that scientist woman.
Yeah.
I don't expect to be lectured on today's politics by Big Finish and
the feminist thing. Okay,
she was too over the top for her own good, and maybe she's ahead of her time because that's the way they act today. But I mean, just saying that they're there to help. They're there to look into the unit has been asked to look at her work and make sure that the funding that they're getting is appropriate. And she's so rude to them, she kicks them out because she doesn't like to be told what to do by the patriarchy. It's just like, okay, sorry, but that doesn't wash, and that's not a good character. And didn't she end up getting used by the Vardens anyway?
Yes. She did.
So there you go.
Yeah.
I guess what goes around comes around, bitch.
Yeah, the professor was kind of annoying in this thing, but she served her purpose, obviously, when she found out that, she was the Vardens' puppet. The character of Warren, the musician who initially alerts the local authorities and stuff, I really enjoyed him. I mean, you even get the whole funny bit at the end where he's getting back to his music and you roll the end credits and it's a Doctor Who theme. This is good, okay. No, you won't escape. Let's literally make some noise. That was quite funny. The resolution whereby, was it Jo that brought what was the device she brought into the land of sound at the end that she built?
She blended in with the Doctor Who with his sonic.
Yeah, it was the sonic that reversed the sound polarity, wasn't it, or something along those lines?
It was a white noise machine, basically.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So the white noise cancelled out the other sound waves, but that was quite good. I really enjoyed that. Tim Treelor, I can't give the guy enough praise. As these box sets roll around, it's, I mean, he's came a long way as good old number 3 version 2.0, so you can't really grumble with him. I'm really interested to see what the David John Cole show for here on in with regards to Nick Courtney stories in this. Nick Courtney, Brigadier stories, especially when it comes
I
to.
think this gives them a new lease on the series, what they can do, because now they can do unit stories because they got.
Well, it's not just way free. I'm talking about where the doctors down the road. If they choose to go down that road, they can do that as well.
What Graham is saying right now, Big Finish, is so important that you listen to and that you take to heart and that you adopt this philosophy right now.
No, obviously he can't go above 10 because by the time 11's around, he's you know, he's in the grave. But there you go. So obviously you've only got up till 10 to have some wiggle room there. But
well, I think this is something they've done though with this particular set, and this is set 5, right? It's something they haven't been able to do up to now. Yeah. But now that they have him, it opens up a whole new realm of possibilities for unit, you know, Earth-based stories. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So because you still got Benton and you got Yates and you got Joe, so you can put a lot of gaps.
And the new Liz Shaw.
Oh you get Daisy Ashford should you choose to use her again. So yeah, we could have some more stories in season 7 at some point. After
7, 8, 9, really. I mean.
Yeah, you know. So we'll see what happens there. Okay, guys. With that, it's a case of open mic portion of this cast. Anything else you want to bring up before we get this rated and in the can?
It made me think of that story, that David Tennant story, Dead Air, because they were talking about, you know, the sound, pirate radio type thing. That was really cool.
Also, that other one for David Tennant, The Wire, on the TV series.
Oh, Magpie. Yeah.
And when I first heard the name of it, I thought that they were gonna do something with like the creatures who were coming through in Dickens' time with the Ninth Doctor.
Oh,
Dickens' time.
They were gaseous. They weren't radio waves.
The gas.
The Gelf. Oh no.
The Gelf.
Yeah.
What was funny, the Brigadier, you know, he talked to this guy that he invented that white sound thing. They was using it, and it was working real well. But of course, it almost, you know, killed the Doctor and all the
It's because they were all made out of sound molecules at the time.
But the funny thing is that now the Brigadier has an idea when they show up where he could use them. So
here's what I found interesting. You had a portion of the time where Jo and the Doctor couldn't communicate. He was in the land of sound, obviously, and she was building this white noise machine. And you cut to a segment where she's on the phone to somebody called Osgood. And you're going, oh, here we go. And then obviously they drop the boom and go, no, it's not that one. It's the one for Devil's End. I can just picture people going, how fucking, and then you go, oh, wait, no. Yeah, you know, I can picture quite a lot of people going apeshit before they listened to the whole segment there. But yeah, there you go. Just quite funny to think about. But that's internet for you. No doubt someone was tweeting before they got to the end of that segment.
Right.
So,
oops, never mind.
Yeah, there you go. Nothing else, guys? No.
More, please. They just need to do more.
I look more. How come there's only one a year?
That's the only issue with this range. There's only one a year. I don't know if it's because Tim Field isn't available a lot. I don't know why.
Well, they've already kind of hinted that they agree that they're putting way too much out per year as it is.
Yeah,
right?
but I think they're going to try and cut that down with regards to spin-off ranges. I don't necessarily think they're going to do that in terms of Doctor. I mean, if you get 4 stories out a year per Doctor, I'd say that's fine. But right now this guy Free's only getting 2, so you know, granted McGann and Baker are getting 8, but what can you do? You know.
But even then, that they may drop them to 1 box set a year, I would think.
If no next year, then possibly the year after. Yeah. Okay. And those guys? Nope. Okay, then
well,
those of you.
That we learned from Beefhead last week that they're 2 years ahead as to how much they've got in the can.
Well, that's because certain folks are of an age, so they're quite right to be
Right,
2
right.
years
No,
ahead.
I'm just,
Yeah,
I thought that was just an interesting fact to pass on. Because I think that,
I've always said that for the most part they're 18 months to 2 years ahead, but there are some that for some reason they've got to get back and they're not exactly finished and they're only released like a few months later, but it's only the odd story. It tends to be part of like a box set or an overall arc. Like case in point, you just had Ravenous 4, whereby obviously Michelle Gomez and Eric Roberts' stuff would have been done at a different time point as opposed to, say, Derek Jacobi or the regulars and that. So, you know, hence why that stuff's a wee bit all over the place. But with regards to Tom Baker and stuff like this, I can see that. And with that, guys, Sunday night, I've got work again in the morning. Fuck it. It's that time again.
Well, originally the Department of Motor Vehicles concluded a survey and that women has 2 special driving abilities. One is driving you nuts, and the second is driving you to an early grave.
Yes, and don't wave your bras at me. Well said it. The Third Doctor Adventures, Season 5, Story number 2, The Stream of Ghosts. Okay, so what do you give this little ditty out of 10, dearie?
Well, I'll give it a 9.5. There's only a half point off because of not being certain people, but otherwise it's perfect.
How dare you
Perfect.
pass away? Yeah, you know, yeah, okay. Well,
Yeah, right.
Yeah. AJ, what's your number from down under?
I'm going to give it a 9. It was a good story, but it wasn't the best. It was good. I would love to have seen it as an episode on the TV back then. Would have been interesting how they did it.
Timbo, what's your number for Texas, mate?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'll give it a 9. I thought it was a great story. But like I said, keep your politics out of my Doctor Who.
If you believe off the internet, it's in your Doctor Who right now. Fuck off. Will, what about you?
I'm going to agree with the other 2 gents, and I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. And Big Finish, here's an idea for you to make more money. Make these stories animated. I'll buy it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, good luck with that, mate. I don't see that anytime soon. I concur with the blokes, and I'll get a 9 as well. Cannot grumble. As I say, it's nice to see the Vardens. We had a different Doctor, and the regulars are sublime, and John Coleshaw is welcome back anytime. More. I don't even care with which Doctor, you know, albeit within these relevant time stream, but there you go. So any between 2 and 10, you've got free range, guys. Go for it. And with that, guys, done, finito, and in the can for the evening. It just leaves us to divulge what we'll be tackling in 2 weeks, if certain folks show up. It's the turn of Tom Baker while we're awaiting the next Patrick Troughton release and the guys of Fraser Hines with Will.
With Tony for part 1 and part 2 of The Perfect Prison.
Yeah, it's season 8, I believe, of the Fourth Doctor Adventure. Something I've not listened to yet, so what the hell, we've got 2 weeks, it's a couple of other things, so we will give that a bash and see what goes down. Please check out our buddies in the wonderful wackety world of the YouTube. You get the guys and dolls at Geeks Assembled with the TV, audio heads, and movie reviews. You get Dr. Freedom and his new broadcast and his Omega Files. You'll get our buddies whenever they're online, Mike Shannon and Sammy Carter. Please check them out. Like, share, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down, all that good jazz. We're getting the hell on out of here. AJ's looking forward to watching War of the Worlds. And I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to go and lie in a drunken pool somewhere before I need to raise my head for the pillow at 7 a.m. Be excellent to yourself, folks, and each other, and we'll see you down the road. Fuckity bye.